Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now these are your readings for the full moon for August the 3rd. So that's the full moon in Aquarius at 11 degrees Aquarius, 11 degrees 45 minutes. Now it's a bulk introduction as ever. There will be a timestamp down below so that once you've watched my waffle the once, you don't have to watch it all over again. Just click on the timestamp in the description. Now, also in the description, there is a link to my Facebook page for this channel, which is relevant for this video. But that's also where you can contact me for a personal reading if you want. Now, these are general readings. I call them Gods at Play readings because the full moon is about opposition, sun, opposition, moon. It's about the push and pull of the forces. Now, I use God cards like Gods of Titans, Mythic Oracle, Dark Goddess Oracle cards, to look at the forces that are working to suppress you and the forces that are looking to uplift you. The forces that are suppressing you, I'm taking a Gnostic view of the ancient gods, that they are masks being worn by the archons who want to feed off of our pain and misery and fear and general non-connectedness to the divine. The bottom row is the true gods from the pagan point of view, the gods that are there to help lift us up to our higher selves, to connection with the divine, or that are simply there to ensure the functional running of the universe, one or the other. You know, there's certain gods within the pagan religions, they don't care whether you're there or not. Other gods do care. So we can see the interplay between all of those. So this is there's not a past and a present, so there's not really an element of take what resonates either. It's like an energetic forecast, and it'll either be useful for you or it won't. I would imagine if your birth chart is affected by this full moon, or at the moment by Uranus in Taurus, then these readings will probably be more relevant for you. You can ask a question beforehand, like I tend to say in all my normal videos. I make no promises as to whether the answer to your question will even be touched upon, because it's not really that sort of spread. But hey, give it a go. Give me some feedback if you ask a question you get an answer, because that'll be interesting to know. Now, as I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time, says me, discussing about the full moon or the astrology of the full moon per se, because there's plenty of astrologers on YouTube who are doing it better than me. I would particularly recommend, as ever, Anastasia Cosmic Astrologer. I recommend Rick Levine, the Astrology Hub, Rick, R-I-K, Leo King. You know, Namaste Today. I've not watched it yet today. It's Sunday and it's out. And as I'm actually discussing this, I have done 7 of the readings so far. I've got as far as Libra. The rest I'm going to actually have to do tomorrow on the day of the full moon. So if you're Scorpio onwards in the zodiac, sorry, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. But one thing that did get my attention about this full moon is that it is square Uranus in Taurus, and a square creates a difficulty that can be overcome through creativity, through the application of creative energies, whatever that means. And I think that has shown in the 7 readings that I've done so far, as this time they seem quite personal. I mean, maybe you could take it on a societal level, but this time they seem very, very personal situations. Something that they all feel a lot closer to home rather than any commentary on what local governments might be doing or local police forces. You know, as my full moons a couple of months ago, was it even last month? It must be a couple of months ago now, seemed to pick up on a lot of the protests that had not yet started when I did the readings. But don't worry, you are still rebelling. You are still resisting, but you seem to be rebelling and resisting things that are a lot closer to home. But that rebelling and resisting does seem to be a theme with the readings this month. And also, no, it's gone out of my head what I was about to say. So where were we? Rebelling and resisting. That square to Uranus, there's repeated themes that are coming up for everybody. There's the Archons pretending to be Poseidon or Uranus have come again and again and again. And opening doorways to transformation of your own life, transformation of where you believe that you're heading. That's coming out as well. Now, if I haven't said it already, you want to watch your sun and your moon, obviously, and your rising sign, because in ancient astrology, the rising sign is the most important, hence the timestamp. Now, I'm just going to have a look at the, excuse me, the symbols of this degree. As I said, 11 degrees Aquarius, so written down in like inside degrees as Aquarius 12, because 11 something is the 12th degree. And the Chandra symbol is, or inside degree symbol, is a heated argument turns into laughter. Now what it talks about is tension and release, contraction and expansion, the breath of the mind resolving its dualities. Now Rick Levine on I think it was on Astrology Hub was saying that the whole job description of Uranus is to instantly resolve irreconcilable opposites, and try saying that after a couple of whiskey. So this really sits with the theme. Now it says, in order to make it possible for radical truths and significant realizations to come through, you must first karmically dramatize, inside the ego mind and outside as well, the unbearable tension between opposing points of view. You enter upon disputes, advocate positions, set up heroes and villains. And then when your whole inner and outer world is packed with dilemmas, problems, arguments and battles, you become ready to seek out synthesis, to enter upon a cycle of restoring wholeness. During your experimental years, spice means everything. But during your maturity, there is no further mileage to be had in turning anything against anything else. Getting it that you made it all up in the first place, and that the rational mind delights in controversy but has its limits. When resolution comes, everything looks different. All of life turns around, and most particularly your relation to yourself changes from the critic into the friend and respectful ally of your own inward intentions. Yes, I didn't read this before I did those first 7 readings, but that makes a lot of sense with what I've seen all the way up to Libra. And now I love the Omega symbol is a man struck by lightning is miraculously unharmed. And it's showing that lightning effect of Uranus to bring in change. One thing that Rick Levine said again is that Uranus in Taurus does not like change. So Uranus this time will bring bigger changes less often, because it's like that change energy builds up, like as he said, within a capacitor, and then all of a sudden pop and it's used. Now as they say here, it's a wonderful thing to be serious and passionate about life, but not good when, through our attachment, we turn what is important to us into a burden. Now, this degree is about knowing and focusing on what is important to us, that came out in the readings as well, while learning to carry it lightly. When we attune to the greater spiritual reality from which our consciousness has arisen, we inevitably come to know the joy of pure being. Now, there is symbols of hope here. I mean, all this is fantastic, but it sounds like a lot of work as well, doesn't it? Now, the Pleiadian symbol, which I'm not entirely sure where that's from, because I've not been able to source the origin of these Pleiadian symbols. I mean, other than the Pleiades, obviously. An escalator carrying people far into the sky, which is just a beautiful image. So whatever the full moon brings to you, I want you to consider that whatever it is a step up. Simple as that. Even if it really doesn't look like a step up, that's the way you have to look at it. For your own sanity, that's the way you have to look at it. But whatever it is, it's a step up. Now, interestingly here, from the information that I got, there's each degree has a seed degree and a fulfillment degree. And if somebody could guide me in the comments as to what that actually means, I'd be very grateful. But the seed degree, this really grabbed me, is Leo 23, so obviously 22 degrees Leo. So the sun right now is, well, right now as in the time of the full moon, will be at 11 degrees Leo. So a simple another 11, so you know, numerology 11, big important number, to this seed degree, Leo 23. And it says, a secret race of beings carrying on a hidden existence among humans. That's the Omega symbol for that degree. Now, for the more tinfoil hat wearing of us, that obviously will make you think, oh my God, it's the astral reptilians and the they live scenario. But there's also looked at it in a young adult fiction way. You know, like the X-Men or the Eternals soon to be released, or you know, elves walking among us, all that sort of thing. But what I'd like to give you the image of is that we are that secret race of beings walking around, carrying on a hidden existence among humans. I mean, obviously, we are humans. We are all humans. We are all humans. And we are all aliens if you take reincarnation into account. So there's this 1 degree of the full moon straight after the 3 eclipses and everything else that's been going on this year. 2020, I mean, for God's sake, October's full moon is on Halloween. I mean, if it was going to happen any year, of course it will be this year. But there is a wonderful sense of activation, both in the degree symbols, even that seed degree of 11 degrees Aquarius being Leo 22 degrees Leo, there's that wonderful sense of activation, especially if you think about that escalator thing as well. And there is, in the readings, a wonderful sense of not just activating it as an idea, but actually doing. Right. And there's me saying I wouldn't waffle about the astrology, but I don't think I have. I've stuck to the symbols. So, timestamp down below for the next one that you watch. Remember, sun, moon and rising. Birth chart link down below as well. If you don't know what your moon and rising are, they're always a good idea to have a look at. Comment. It is always good to receive the feedback. And thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed or liked the videos so far. The likes do help, the subscriptions help even more, and hey, you want to see what I'm going to do, so subscriptions, notifications bell, and come and join us on the Facebook page, link down below. Right, time to get on with your reading. And welcome Leo Rising and Leo Moon if you've just joined us after the timestamp. Now then, Leo, I have a really curious message for you here. So, the god forces, or the archons wearing masks of the gods, or as I call them, archontic masks, that are arraigned against you, we have Achilles with confidence, Uranus as the father, Cailleach with endurance, Nuit with expansiveness, and Laertes with faithfulness. On your side, however, Jade Emperor with organisation, Hemera with rebirth, Scylla with drama or Scylla, Baba Yaga with authenticity, and Chiron with woundedness. Now, This is not the sort of message that I would ever think I would be delivering. But no, it's right that you cause some drama. Because there is a wound here that needs acknowledgement, and you cannot keep it hidden just because you are being loyal to someone. We have Azazel, the angel Azazel, with loyalty. As an energy that's working with this reading, what are you actually loyal to? And I feel that you need to be loyal to yourself a little here, because there is something that needs to be recognized. And there is something that you need to have a plan in. How am I going to get this recognized and get the rebirth that I require, without just carrying on every day with the scope of what I am going through getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The other thing I'd say is, with Nuit and Achilles, avoid big plans. You've got something far closer to home to worry about right now, and you have to be organised in how you are looking at your loyalties and prioritising your loyalties, because here there has to be a loyalty to yourself. Just going, everything's fine, everything's absolutely fine, there's not a worry, because I know that I need to please those in authority around me, and I am just going to be faithful to them, and I'm going to pretend that everything's fine. It's fine, okay? It's fine. You know, and as you can tell, not always the most practical of attitudes, that. So let's see what the tarot have got to add to this tale. Right, so there is a path to happiness with being organised about how you are revealing. Now, I don't even want to say that you are revealing, hi, I need some help here, because help is not the thing that I'm thinking you're after. It's recognition of a wound and delivering a teaching moment, because let's not forget that Chiron is a teacher. He was the teacher of heroes, and Chiron here is clarified by the Nine of Cups, so there's some form of wish fulfillment. Whether there's a wish fulfillment in having the I'll show you this Nine of Cups card, see if it'll bring the camera back into focus. Whether there is a no, okay, I'll be fuzzy for the rest of this video. Whether there is a wish fulfillment in having this wound recognized, or in teaching somebody about a wound, but there seems to be a drive here with Baba Yaga for authenticity, and then Ace of Wands to clarify it. Actually, that's the King of Wands, but my point still stands. I'm not used to this tarot. It's I have a new method of selecting my tarot, and this is the one that came up, and so I like to challenge myself. But yeah, this is the it's a very cold King of Wands, to be quite honest. It's almost like you have to be. Happiness comes in saying, look, this is what the situation is, but being too confident and believing that you can cut something out isn't being fair to you. You are not being fair to yourself if you are just carrying on regardless, because it looks like there is an expectation around you to carry on regardless. I mean, after all, that's how you have your it's almost like your wish. I'm in focus. Your wish fulfillment is coming if you remain loyal, and it's a myth. It's not true. So just for this one occasion, I am suggesting have some drama and celebrate it. Really going, look, this is what the truth is, because you are both revealing a wound and teaching. It's making more sense now. With that authenticity and with this Three of Cups here. But you are being guided into having a rebirth, and that rebirth is not in line with whatever this authority figure around you is demanding. It's curious that you saw on the shuffle video, I shuffled them, and these are the exact same two cards that came out for Cancer in the exact same position. So maybe you are dealing with a Cancer. There's also that aspect. But there's also, I'm thinking about what Cancer is about, and the fourth house, you know, that home and hearth and family, that you need to have your loyalty sorted out, and your first loyalty has to be to yourself. Has to be. It's the same logic that you put your oxygen mask on first so that you are still conscious to then put the mask on your children. You know, if you put it on your children first and you pass out, what about child number 2 or child number 3 that never got to get its mask on? You know, so you have to look after yourself first. You have to be loyal to yourself first. And let's have a look what Scylla is saying in the book. Right. Be aware of gossip. Understand that gossip affects subject matter. What goes around comes around. As a warning, it says you've cried wolf too often, but that's not the feeling that I'm getting here. You are not crying wolf. It's almost like you've not cried wolf too often. You've not cried out often enough. Don't be so quick to point the finger. Stop trying to steal the limelight. No one would accuse you of that, Leo. And don't get left in the wings. Someone is dominating a situation, yes, and it's not you. And the other comment is, and the Oscar goes to. Whereas Kaliak is basically all is well, the worst is behind you, experience will just make you stronger, take stock and seek the lessons within, all's well. But all's well is on the Archontic row. So all's not well. It's the pretense that all's well that is causing an issue. So it's almost like there is a revelation here. You've got none of the light gods, although you have got one of darkness working against you, keeping things in secret. And all that's doing is spreading the effect of this secret far and wide, and helping you remain, and helping others remain blind to the truth of a situation. You have to take decisive action, but planned, organised. That way leads to happiness. 10 of Cups here with the Jade Emperor. And if you feel that there is a need for a rebirth, or if you are shown an opportunity for a rebirth, take it. I have no idea what I'm going to call this reading. So if this means anything to you, Leo, comment down below. Like, share, subscribe, obviously. And your next readings to come out will be the Chinese zodiac. All right. Cheers.